Yo, what's going on, neighbors? Welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John, and it's time for a track review and reaction to the new Architects single, Animals. Apparently, they've got a new album coming out. I don't think they have announced it themselves, but I noticed the metadata on the music video, scrolling around, haven't heard the song yet, but for those that wish to exist is what it says under it. So I'm assuming that a new album is coming out soon, and considering that I really got into these guys after the release of Holy Hell in 2018, I am stoked to dive in. Holy Hell was without a doubt one of my favorite releases of that year. I'm not always a huge metal or heavy music guy, but something about their lyrical content, especially after the passing of their bandmate and brother, Tom Cyril. Dan Cyril stepped into that role. He's now directing this music video, so let's just go ahead and throw on the headphones and get to reacting, and if you enjoy it, drop a like. I'm loving the brooding atmosphere here. It seems like they're really trying to bridge the gap between different stages of the band. It's still very much heavy, but there's also polish to it. I like the keys in the background that are creeping into the mix, and also the lyrics that just feel almost hopeless, and given our circumstances in 2020, makes sense. Smash it through. I think this breakdown makes sense for this song, to be honest. A little bit spaced out. It's cool, it sounds like the end of an Alien movie. It's true, but where's the blah? Before I even pressed play on this track, I had seen people complaining about the direction of it, and I almost expected something like a pop endeavor, and this is not that. I don't want to get hate for saying this, but I almost hear some Bring Me the Horizon in the mix, maybe like Sempiternal era, and that's not a bad thing. The guitars immediately storm the gate. I love the heavy cycling riff that we hear throughout this track. It's really nice, and Sam Carter vocally definitely sounds a bit cleaner. You're not getting the blah and the other screams, which is something that's an interesting direction. It's just one single, one song, of course. I think it's a really strong entry, but again, this was my first listen, and I always like to hear it more before I give a final verdict, so let me go hear it more, and I'll meet you back here. Yeah, it turns out I actually really do like this song. Animals is a really solid single from Architects. Definitely different, definitely a bit cleaner and more refined than maybe we're used to them sounding. But after really getting into their past two records, All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us and especially Holy Hell, and going back and checking out some of their earlier work, it's not necessarily that I'm saying it was time for a change, but I love that they're giving themselves the creative room to explore and push their sonic boundaries. This track does have a few generic qualities to it. I think the lyrics can fall a bit flat, and especially with the lack of emphasis, or screams, I guess I should say, I think it can definitely come off to some as that they're going a different route entirely. I have to stress that I do feel like this is just the lead single, and I don't feel like they're abandoning screaming or anything like that. I feel like people always go there when they hear a song that sounds slightly different, and I just don't feel that way. I really like the thick instrumentation and atmosphere that's being presented on Animals. The lyrics can occasionally, like I said, stray off course, but I love some of the lines about not being able to burn like a glass cathedral, and just the fact that we're all animals but we're afraid of the outcome. It speaks volumes about our current situation worldwide, but it doesn't get too on the nose. It's still aggressive without losing itself and maybe being a bit short-sighted and not being something that has a long shelf life. I actually really found the breakdown of the track to get better and better the more times I spun the tune. I feel like this track in particular really does call for something that feels almost glitchy and choppy, and then it throws in that siren warning call in the background. Almost sounds like something out of a zombie film, and like I mentioned when I was reacting to the track for the first time, it does feel like it belongs almost in a horror or else end of days type of movie. The music video is great, definitely fits the vibe as well. I like the single artwork also. It just all around seems to fit the mood, and it was called upon as this different track for Architects, but still a really solid one that also has me very excited to hear what this album is going to sound like. Do we need more Architects in our life? Of course we do. That's a dumb question. I think it's great that Architects are continuing on in such a fervent manner and spirit, because after Tom passed away, that was a massive blow to the band, and then holy hell came from that, the diamond out of that horrible situation. And now, with this, they're refocusing, they're doing something a bit different, and I'm just glad that they're still going. So I would love to know, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts on Animals in the comment section down below. Are you worried? Are you excited? Any and all thoughts are welcomed. As far as my personal rating for the track goes, I'm going to give this a very strong 4 out of 5. If you enjoyed my review and reaction today, then please drop a like on this video. Let me know if there's anything else that I should cover in the future. Planning on covering a few new singles, including Ariana Grande later this week. Probably no fans of hers watching this video, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to see me review Holy Hell, then tap here for another recent reaction, and I'll see you very soon right here on Beyond ARTV.